Hello, hello. Welcome back to Al Talks. A bit of a, last 2 weeks scheduling has been a bit weird. Um, I took a little break at the start last week, and I upload the episode at the end of the week. That was Sunday, so um, sometimes I, you know, I try to keep to the schedule, but sometimes not possible, and you know but I've adhered to once a week video so far, so I suppose doing something right. More bloody pop-ups. It's always bloody pop-ups. Anyway, so what I want to talk about, like I was saying, scheduling got a bit strange with the holiday and all, but one person who didn't stop when he was on holidays was Bobby Lee. Bobby Lee is, he's currently filming a movie in Hungary, but he pre-recorded some stuff when he went to Joshua Tree, and I've been listening to his Joshua Tree special of the Tiger Belly. He's put 2 out so far, and the first 2 have been brilliant. I don't know how many there actually is, but it's something that I've been thinking about really a lot lately. Like, for example, another good comic, Whitney Cummins. If you look at her Instagram, she is always, always, always working. And I think it's something I mentioned in the episode when I'm trying to find it here in my notes. No, I don't see it here in my notes, but I did mention in one episode, could have been a couple of episodes back there, when Lisa Yat, who used to be the podcast producer for The Church Was Happy to Now, Joey Diaz's first podcast, that he had Jamie Lee on. Jamie Lee, who's become one of, like, she's in the 1% of the earners on OnlyFans. But Jamie Lee was saying the same thing that Whitney does. She gets up and she's always working. She's putting up content, all that. If you look at their stuff, they update daily. I've been using Instagram an awful lot more lately. I put up more, kind of. Haven't really been that active on not YouTube, Facebook, other than just I released the link to the latest episode. That's about it. But in terms of pushing content, I talked about when I was up in Dublin. I did a little kind of short vlog thingy, showing the Halfpenny Bridge, and I think I might start that off as a kind of a new series. I have started off doing the short clips about the Joy Days Jamba Juice. Though I don't know how you would put it. That video maybe was a bit of kind of fan appreciation and a combination of I don't know, to be honest, what I would call it. It's supposed to fan appreciation. That's what it was. But I think the video I recorded, it's up on my Instagram. At Al Talks Podcast. Check it out, or if you haven't already. But I think I might upload it to YouTube as well, just as part of a new kind of series, and just have the 3 of those. Have my podcast as one, have maybe the short clips that I'll may or may not put out. I haven't come up with a good idea for one yet, so that's why I haven't released one. If people are wondering. because I think that short clip I put out, I don't know when, it was a while ago. But I don't know, as things are opening up, so I might start doing that, definitely. When comedy opens back up, I think I'll start recording my sets, but I won't be releasing them, because I'm going to follow the advice that a lot of young comics get, is don't release anything for the first year, because then later on it becomes what you're known for, just that small clip or whatever else. So that's that. Well, there's other news, but I'm not gonna divulge it now. Probably will be later on. So that is that for now. That's all my little news. Yeah, that's kind of to step away, but really, really appreciate the work ethic of comics that really go all out. And obviously, like I was saying, I was trying to keep their schedule, but it won't be happening every time. There's lots of things going on in the background, because they have a full-time job and the whole lot, so I'm trying to balance everything else out. So sometimes it'll be up on Tuesday, sometimes it won't be, but I'll try to make my best and stick to the schedule. I haven't missed a week yet, so there's that at least, anyway. When I was on holidays, I'd listen to, I think it's been about 2 hours, two and a half, nearly 3 hours, listening to 2 episodes of George Lopez's podcast. Oh my God, hi! that's the name of it. And the reason I enjoy that podcast so much is because he does it with his friend Brian, who helps him. Is the co-host. And whenever Brian, they do these kind of segments, you can even phone into the podcast and leave voicemails. There's a number. And when he does the segments and Brian gets them wrong, George, like, there was one he said, what were you before this, a secretary or what? Like, he goes, why are you fucking up these segments? He goes, no, I'm trying, And they always joke that because on the show, George Lopez drinks his own beer. That's how famous George Lopez is. He has his own beer brand. Like, there's levels of famous, and that is one of them. Joe Rogan, has that Kill Cliff flavor. So I suppose that's how you can measure your fame, that you have your own, whiskey line or beer line and whatever else. And the podcast is very, very interesting. If you are looking for a really good solid podcast, he's only started, he's got, I don't know, about 13-14 episodes out, but he had one of the good ones is when he had the Gil Carrillo on again, but he had him on with Be Real. Be Real had brought over this, it's a gravity bong, and they were talking about Gil Carrillo, obviously, who was in the sheriff's department in LA County for 38-40 years, and they were talking about how weed went from, because back when Gil Carrillo was a cop, he said weed was a felony. So if you were caught with weed, it was a felony, and how it changed from being obviously in California to become legalized. And because of Be Real, somebody who uses is an advocate for marijuana use, if you want to put it that way. But it was a really interesting podcast. That was the second time Gil Carrillo on. Actually, the very first time that he came on the Oh My God podcast was with Bobby Lee, because they were talking about on actually Tiger Belly when George Lopez came on. that they were talking about having him come on, and he said, "Look, how about you come over to my podcast and wouldn't I have him on, and we'll do it that way." So it was definitely check it out if you're interested. But that'll be all for this week. I shall see you all next week. I will at some stage put that kind of vlog video up there and start a new series. But until then, I'll have to wait a week. Hopefully not longer. I might be a bit late with next week's podcast as well. We'll see. It all depends on the schedule. It's been a bit hectic recently, so see you next week, and thanks for watching.